even though physicians, scientists, public health experts, organizations of hundreds of thousands of medical professionals, and organizations like the World Health Organization have spent the last week debunking the lies that came out from the president and our Secretary of Health and Human Services at their press conference last week. Over the weekend, our president then doubled down on those lies. I've addressed pretty much all of this disinformation in a previous video, but what I want to do in this video is address some of the common questions and concerns I saw in a post that I had that got a decent amount of traction. Here's just a sampling of the comments I got. I know words can be hard for most liberals, but a simple Google search will show you 3 research papers, 1 from Harvard. I know you won't because confirmation bias is a prerequisite when being a Democrat. Or here, Trump should have said there was no correlation. Then everyone would say there is and everyone would be right. Or I like that Harvard is Republicans now. Harvard University said it, so there's that. Who did the studies? Whatever you do, do not look up what Tylenol said about taking it while pregnant. It might just destroy your whole left versus right narrative. There's literally been evidence since long before Trump said it. Tylenol even says that their product is not good to take for pregnant women. Stop embarrassing yourself. Stop the cap. It was a Harvard study, a Columbia study, a Mount Sinai study, and a Johns Hopkins study. And Tylenol says don't take their product when you are pregnant. I don't need to read them all. You get the gist. I'll just move myself out of the way in case anyone wanted to see what these other comments were. To be clear, because there seems to be a confusion on this, this is not a left versus right issue. This is a matter of public health and accurately representing the information that we have. That is not what happened at that press conference. I wrote lengthy responses to a lot of the types of comments I was seeing in my Substack last week, so you're welcome to read more there, but I'm going to summarize it here. So the first point was, as you saw, many people talking about this Harvard study. I've already posted a video about this, but briefly, the senior author of this study and the study itself both have said that it's just a correlational relationship that they identified. There are other problems with the study that I talked about in my other video, but the other highlight is that the senior author of the study was paid $150,000 to testify against Tylenol, which seems relevant. A number of people were like, oh, funny how all of a sudden you don't want to trust the science. This is what trusting the science looks like. It's not accepting what RFK Jr. and Donald Trump, neither of whom are scientists or physicians, say at a press conference. It's about looking at the actual studies and understand what they actually tell us. And that is why you're seeing so much pushback from the medical and scientific community, because when we look at the studies, they do not suggest that Tylenol causes autism or that pregnant people should stop taking Tylenol. This came up multiple times too, and I think these folks may actually have been in good faith saying, well, if there is a correlation, maybe we should encourage people to not take Tylenol during pregnancy. And though I can understand where they're coming from, the problem is Tylenol is the main indicated medication to treat fever during pregnancy. And we do know that fever during pregnancy is associated with negative health outcomes for that fetus. So we shouldn't, just in case, ask pregnant people to endure fever, which we know will cause harm or at least increase the risk of harm to their fetus, just on the off chance that Tylenol might do that. I have a separate video about this too, but basically in 2017, there's a tweet that Tylenol had written that they themselves say has been taken out of context. And what they have currently stated as of last week is that, again, Tylenol is safe during pregnancy when taken as directed. I'm not saying that because we should just accept what companies tell us about their products, but because people keep insisting on bringing up this tweet from 8 years ago rather than looking at what the company is actually saying now. I do not think the majority of people making those comments I showed you earlier are doing so in good faith, but it is very likely that other people may actually genuinely have those questions, so I thought it was worth addressing them here. As I and others have said many times at this point, the evidence that we currently have suggests Tylenol continues to be safe in pregnancy when used as directed. If you have any other questions, please let me know.